Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. As you can see by the title and by the thumbnail, today we're going to be breaking down some film on Keon Coleman's game against the Baltimore Ravens from week 1. So we're going to dive straight into it, man. The very first play right here, man. This is one of the reasons that make the Buffalo Bills a hard team to match up on. So you see that the coverage really was good initially. It looks like they were in a man. They had a single high, so like they were in a man-to-man cover one, a variation of cover one. And they just sent Keon Coleman from one side of the formation to kind of just run a drag route across the field, which is obviously a good route pattern to go up against man coverage, especially if you have a speedy receiver, a guy who can kind of get that separation. Now, the thing that I always talk about when I talk about receivers, when I'm judging receivers, if I'm kind of trying to decide whether I believe that this guy is an elite or if this guy is a number one, is not necessarily making the catches that you were supposed to make, if that makes sense. I judge them based off the ability to consistently make difficult catches, because more times than not, especially in the game, especially the NFL, the separation from play to play is not going to be as great as it was probably when you was in college, right? Because guys become so much more skilled, and even if you beat them, the recovery speed, and then you got to think about passes, right? Because the pass rush getting back there to the quarterback, the balls are not going to always be perfectly thrown. Now, when you got a quarterback like Josh Allen does have the ability to be able to make the second play much better than the first play. So I feel like when you're playing with a quarterback like that, it takes a receiver to have a pretty good understanding of the game and know what's going on, to be able to get his eyes back to the quarterback and see, okay, my quarterback is scrambling. Let me find some way to kind of reroute myself. So right here, this was just a phenomenal effort from Josh Allen to be able to make the second play much better than the first play. He was able to step up, extend it, and just give Keon Coleman an opportunity to go make a play, which he throws the ball right here. It's pretty good throwing ball. Keon Coleman does a phenomenal job at just being able to adjust to the catch and being able to make a difficult catch in a tight situation, being that you had a corner over the top and you kind of had one underneath, and then you had the sideline working against you. So that was just a phenomenal catch on his part. And like I said, for me, that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at receivers, is the ability to make those tough catches. So on this play right here, you got Keon Coleman matched up on the top of the screen. So if you look at the Ravens defenders, you see that all of them are looking at Josh Allen. So that's a subtle tell that more times than not that they're in zone coverage. So right here, it looks like they're probably in a cover. A part of me want to say that it looks like it's probably a cover 3, being that it's a single high. And I'm looking at the corners and how they're already playing off. So they're already in position to get to that deep third if need be. So they was able to kind of hit them underneath right here with this route. And Keon Coleman just does a good job at being able to, just keep his feet underneath them on the breakdown, being able to stop on a dime. And Josh Allen just does a good job at, being able to throw his ball with anticipation. So pretty much as soon as he was coming out of his break, the ball was already released. And Josh Allen also did a good job at kind of identifying, and I'm not quite sure if he knew, but based off what I'm looking at, kind of identifying that they might have been in the zone. So you see that opposed to him just kind of throwing it straight, he kind of veered it off towards the out of bounds line, kind of on his outside shoulder to try to prevent the corner that was in the nickel from being able to make a play on it. All right, so right here, you got the Bills lined up in the shotgun again. You got Keon Coleman matched up on the top of the screen, and it looks like Baltimore is in zone coverage again. They're in a too-high safety look. If you look at the defenders, you see that their eyes are in the backfield watching the quarterback. So you look at the outside corner. So it looks like a part of me want to say that I believe that it might have been a cover 4, kind of just considering that you got 2 high safeties. You got the corner on the opposite side of Keon Coleman on the left side, depending on which angle you're looking at it from. You got him already kind of playing in that deep zone, and then you got the corner who looked like that was on Keon Coleman. It looked like he was going to his deep zone, but like I say, with zone, your eyes on the quarterback, so you're trying to read the quarterback eyes. So I think that when Josh Allen looked that way, he thought that Josh Allen might have been going to the it looks like the tight end. So he tried to was anticipating and trying to jump the route, and by him trying to, he kind of just got caught in a dead space right there. And Josh Allen just did a good job of just lobbing that thing up there, and Keon Coleman just went up, high pointed the ball, secured the catch for a first down. So this play right here is one of them plays that you would say that this kind of was the momentum shift in the game, being able to convert this. So you got to have a situation of 4th and 2nd. You're in the red zone, so that's a double to gotta have it. Me, I always stress the emphasis of the red zone and the importance of it. When you get down there, you want to be able to come up with points. Touchdowns are preferred because obviously, touchdowns equal up to more points, and the name of the game is being able to score points. So they were able to come up with a very, very vital 4th down conversion right here. So you see that they're lined up in a condensed formation. And obviously, like I said, the point of a condensed formation is to try to be able to create natural pick and rub routes, whether if it's in man coverage and if it's zone, try to give high-low opportunities, put defenders in conflict. And right here, it just was a kind of a messy picture, man. That's one of the downsides to kind of running that type of formation down in the red zone, being that it's so congested already and as tight as it is. A lot of times it can lead to quarterbacks having to throw into ugly pitches. And what ugly pitches is an area where it's a lot of defenders at. And that's kind of exactly what happened right here. here. You see Keon Coleman, he looks like he kind of just ran like maybe a little mesh, like a little drag route. He had his hand up trying to signify to Josh Allen that he was open. I don't think that it was really anything initially right there. Well, when he kind of worked his way back over, he kind of did have a little slight opening, but good awareness on his part to be able to get his eyes back into the backfield and be aware that Josh Allen was rolling out, and he rolled out to the side that Josh Allen was rolling out at, so that way he doesn't have to make him try to throw back across his body, and give him an opportunity to be able to throw the ball, but still throwing that ball on the run the way Josh Allen was. Obviously, throwing on the run is much harder because you're not allowed, you're not able to get your feet set. You kind of more so throwing, it's more so just relying on your arm strength opposed to being able to get your legs in the combination with it. So the ball kind of was a little bit underthrown, but once again, good awareness on Keon Coleman. So to me, this is a two-part good awareness. For one, being able to get your eyes in the backfield and realize that Josh Allen was finna roll out and extend the play. So now you roll out to the side he's rolling out from, right? Even with the ball being kind of slightly underthrown and being tipped, to have the ball skills to be able to track the ball in the air, even when it was tipped, and to still be able to make a play on this, to be able to come up with the touchdown here. That was just phenomenal ball skills on Keon Coleman part. And then also too, man, the second thing that I always talk about is for a receiver is I want to see, do you have the ability to make those tough, difficult catches? And right here, he showcased that on this vital fourth down conversion. So right here, this play right here, man, this is pretty much the dagger. So we're going to dive into some little X's and O's on this play right here. So if you notice that on this play, Baltimore has 6 guys on the line, right? So typically you would have 4 guys that's on the line of scrimmage. That would be your defensive linemen. So they added 2 extra guys to send extra pressure. Now we see that some teams will show 6 and show as if they're finna send pressure, and then they would drop guys back out into coverage. So right here, they actually send 6 guys on the blitz. Now here's the downside to it. So when you do that, now you have your receivers on the back end matched up in one-on-one coverage. Now, if you send an all-out blitz and you can get to the quarterback in time, then it works out. So you see right here, Josh Allen was actually well protected, even with them sending 6 guys on the blitz. Now, that's where Josh Allen IQ probably come into play to be able to say, okay, I see that this is what they're finna do. They're finna blitz from here. So let me adjust my pass protection to guarantee that I have time to be able to get rid of this ball. So that could have been something just as simple as telling the running back, hey, on this play right here, I'm gonna need you to stay back opposed to going out for a route. Because if you don't go out for a route, you got Kyle Hamilton that's coming off the edge for a straight line shot at Josh Allen. So that's where experience and, just pre-snap knowledge of being able to identify defenses and what they're trying to do comes into play on Josh Allen's part. So right here, you got Keon Coleman matched up on the outside. Once again, they're playing off coverage. And I think that when you're playing off man-to-man coverage, you have to be very disciplined in your eyes and not really falling for whatever it is that the receiver's trying to do, because if not, you will put yourself in bad position based off of leverage. And if you can see as closely as Keon Coleman was able to close the distance, he kind of opens up and puts his butt to the sideline. And just based off of that alone, he's already kind of out of position, and Josh Allen just does a good job at being able to deliver a dart to him. We're trying to give him opportunity to make a catch and run. Now, granted, I think that to a degree, maybe if he would have kept running, he probably would have actually had the touchdown. Because you look at him, he's already in the trail position right there. Boom, catch it and just turn up. He probably actually gets the touchdown. Now, granted, I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to kind of do like a little stutter step and make him kind of hesitate, to make him think that he was going to try to bounce it back. And I think that that's what he was trying to set up. But Jair Alexander did a good job at being able to rebound from it and just being able to get a hold to his leg, prevent the touchdown, man. But like I say, man, I'm interested to see his development over the course of this season. Because I made a joke with somebody the other day, and I was just talking about why I think Josh Allen's performance was so phenomenal. I was like, man, name me a Buffalo Bills receiver, and just basically saying that they didn't have that option. And granted, I didn't really watch Keon Coleman a lot last year, so I see that based off of this game, he does have that go-to guy, because actually when they needed plays to be made, more times than not, that's exactly who number they called. And we know what Josh Allen was able to do the years that he had that in Stephon Diggs. So Keon Coleman could possibly be that new it guy for him, especially with him losing the guy from last year that don't like to wear shoes to New England. So hopefully Keon Coleman can step up and continue to try to build off of this game and give Josh Allen that good, reliable target in those gotta-have-it situations. But, man, if you guys did enjoy this video, do me a big favor. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure that you click that notification bell. Make sure that it's turned on, the way you be notified every time I upload. And I'll see y'all in the next video.